The European Union has agreed to give over $63 million to help the sugar industry. But as Ritika Pratap reports, the money isn't going to the government or the Fiji Sugar Corporation directly.
The funds are being channeled through the Secretariat of the Pacific Community. Described as a milestone, millions of dollars will now go towards alternative livelihoods for struggling farmers. Relations between the EU and Fiji have been strained since 2006, so much so that bilateral assistance has been all but cut off.
Regrettably, the situation has led Fiji to lose important allocations that may have well contributed to reform the sugar industry, as well as to set up important water and sanitation infrastructures with the 10th European Development Fund.
The EU representative isn't revealing any big secrets when he says the future of the industry looks bleak. The cost of production has increased in the last 10 years, and there has been a lack of reinvestment by farmers and millers.
The current costs of production cannot be sustained on the long run, and the industry is on the verge of collapsing if strong and appropriate measures are not taken immediately in order to recover efficient costs before the international market price returns to its normal trends.
At the end of the day, though, this funding will help thousands of farmers.
This project aims to help farmers reduce their income dependence on cane farming by assisting them to integrating or diversifying into horticultural crops opportunities.
Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
Parents are partly to blame for their children becoming involved in child labour. This was revealed at an event to mark World Day Against Child Labour in Suva today. Students were called up to give a child's perspective. Shireen Lata reports.
Fiji is not free from child labour. While no one may openly admit it, there are even extreme cases.
Little girls are in prostitution to earn money for their family. The girls go through all forms of sexual violence and torture, which cause lifelong damage into their lives.
These students believe tackling child labour isn't impossible if everyone plays their part and upholds international conventions.
Endowments, posters and speeches have highlighted what the United Nations policies are regarding child labour and what privileges they ought to have and how they ought to be treated. All that information is well, but I cannot understand why we cannot have strict legislation in place to put a stop to this manipulation and abuse of children.
In different presentations, one message came through loud and clear. The future of our country is at risk if this issue isn't dealt with.
It is our collective responsibility to end child labour. Our working together will ensure that our children's rights are not in any way violated and they are given the very best of care and protection in our society. For indeed, our children are our future.
A study from 2010 classifies around 500 children as child labourers in Fiji. Most are involved in informal work or as casual labourers. Shireen Lata, FBC News.
An application for trial in absentia was filed by FICAC today due to the continued absence of Foana Nemani from court. The application was made at the Suva High Court as the former FNPF Deputy General Manager has been absent from the trial for over 2 years. FICAC prosecutor Rashmi Aslam stated that further adjournments would not resolve this issue. Justice Priyantha Fernando has adjourned the matter until July 11th to consider the FICAC application. Time is fast approaching for restaurants to comply with food grading standards. The food unit under the Health Ministry is waiting on the sidelines until the grace period ends in 2 weeks. Savara Tambur reports.
Eateries have to make sure their food is up to par or pay fines. Restaurants will be graded, A grade being the cleanest down to D, where there are little guarantees of safety. Inspectors will look at how food is preserved, served and proper ventilation areas and drainage.
It does not only cover the restaurants and eateries, it should also cover all other food establishments, including canning factories, the butcher shops.
The unit has no doubts there are restaurants which, if tested, would be forced to close. It's these outlets which need to clean up their act. Another worry is badly prepared food leading to non-communicable diseases. While bean carts and people selling roti parcels aren't being graded, they will be monitored under the food safety regulations.
They've got the good hygiene practices that it is their obligation to make sure that they follow the food, the good hygiene practices.
Food sellers and bin carts operators who don't comply with safety regulations will be fined for $5,000 or face 2 years in jail. Sabera Tambua, FBC News.